Hello guys! It is Sunday, which means it is cosplay crafting tutorial time. So hello all to everyone that is here already. Hi Ernie, hey Drew, hi Brad, hi, I think I saw Kiri before, hi Kiri, and I think I saw Mokmo, hi. How are you guys doing? Oh, I'm gonna just move this down. Just a little bit. Boop. There you go. Well, maybe up just a little bit. Alright. So yay. It is Sunday. Cosplay crafting. Yay. Hey Kane. How you doing? And Ilya. How are you doing? I just dropped this and this is super duper important. So sorry, it's a little late today. There was just a little bit of prep that I wanted to do for this one, like a little bit more prep, because I really wanted to sort of try to actually get something like a decent way done. Hey, Lavena's Cosplay, how are you doing? And Gumball, hello, how are you doing? And Caspian, did I wish Mama Ray a happy Mother's Day? I did indeed. I sent her flowers from this really incredible flower shop called Pushing Petals. And it is, I order from there every year, and it's like just the most beautiful flower shop, and they have a lot of really cool things. So I was excited for that. 1 second. I just want to bring these just a little bit closer, my big sheets of Worbla, just within arm's reach, just in case I need them. So, how are you guys? How was everybody's Mother's Day? Did you do anything special? Did you hang out with your mamas? Like, did you have a good time? Oh, I just totally ruined something on the floor. Boo. Hey Kimmy, how you doing? And you may have left the channel stream open all day so you wouldn't miss it. Awesome, Ernie. No, we're going to be having a lot. Oh, I screwed this up. I just wanted to show you guys this, but it's already done, but I did not mean for it to stick to itself. So I want to show you guys this. Oh, you helped your mama in the garden, then cooking. Awesome. And Amelie, hello. Oh. And I'm trying to like get this apart. I totally screwed up something here, which is really frustrating me. Okay, I've got 2 of them here. I won't be able to show the bigger one because I have wrecked it. So, you forgot it was Sunday stream, was gonna put in Mythica Godslayer and watch it. Yeah, it's Sunday cosplay stream, Sunday tutorial. So this week, oh, your hubby bought you a second monitor. Oh my God, I need a second monitor so bad. Like, I just have my one laptop and I need a second monitor if I ever hope to like ever do some like certain types of streams and stuff. So yeah, like I want to do where like there's one Sunday I'd love to have a couple cosplay guests or whatever, just friends of mine from the community, come on and talk about certain aspects of cosplay. So I would really love to do that, and I have this feeling I'm gonna need this second monitor. Also, like, check out my new mug I got. It's a Murloc. I got it on the Blizzard sale. I'm so excited. So I got my coffee in there. Hey, Lobos. Hello. Alrighty. So, getting started with our Sunday stream and our tutorial aspect of it, what we are learning today is helmets. So, we're going to learn how to make... it depends on how much time. I'm not too sure how long things are going to totally take me, but, yeah, I know, it's my Murloc thing. Yay, Murloc. Yeah, Mugloc. Oh, I get it. That's good, Ernie. That's really good. It's so awesome. Like, I have 2 of them. I have a matching set because they were on sale for like $3 from Blizzard. So, helmets, you need this. Okay, so for helmets, what we are going to be learning today is essentially how to do sort of a base helmet, and then I'm going to start trying to build a specific helmet for you guys but I don't think that I will be able to finish doing the helmet and building the helmet on this stream. But what I'm going to the helmet that I've chosen, what I want to transition over is then on Thursday's stream, I want to actually do a mini tutorial show. Like, even though Sunday is like the big tutorial days and stuff, I want to do a mini tutorial show on Thursday and teach how to make horns. So I will start off, I'll show you guys the helmet that I have chosen to do. So it is a Diablo helmet. The base is going to be my basic helmet base. I wanted to make one that was sort of friendly enough for kind of every costume. If you were going to be doing something like a simpler helmet like Magneto, if you want to do Thor or whatever. So the base is going to look really similar to this one because this is my general base pattern that I have done. So we're going to do a Diablo one and I'll show you guys. So this is the Crusader Armor and this is the helmet that I am going to attempt to make. Now, this beginning stuff is only going to be the base shapes and everything, but these amazing, beautiful, giant horns, I really want to do, yeah, the Crusader. I really want to do, I've always wanted to do a horn tutorial on this show, but the thing is that I don't think that horns would take up an entire show. So because of that fact, I've decided to do this helmet, show exactly how to make base helmets and everything, show how to sort of get your shape and how it's like shaped on yourself and everything, right? And then I will then continue this over on the Thursday stream and we will do horns and sort of a mini horn tutorial and then continue working on the Crusader helmet. Horns, have I seen Ethereal Ash's work in progress for her Raishan? No, I have not seen that, Brad. I totally haven't seen it, but I probably should. But no, I have not seen that yet, Brad. And yes, the Crusader, that is one of those. I love Diablo so much. And so I really am wanting to like do something from it and something that's sort of big and elaborate. And then this can transition over into painting. So what I'm going to be showing you guys today is essentially just how to make your base helmet. And then from this base, like see this base right here, you can, that was really loud in my ears. You can continue over and transition this type of helmet into any sort of helm that you would like. So this is a very, very standard base. I created this pattern myself and I will show you bits of it, but I will explain how to do a helmet pattern. However, I did my patterning tutorial Sunday stream, and in case you missed it, you can go down onto my YouTube and click on that, and there's the full stream that's uploaded there. And so the patterning tutorial stream, we actually, remember I actually wrapped up my whole head and taped it off and I made a pattern from it. That's the pattern that I have used to make all of these. So I will explain how to make the pattern, but I'm not going to actually make the pattern stream because we already did that a couple episodes ago. So yeah, I'm just looking at the comments. It's awesome. You're excited to see it come together. Yeah, so Thursday is going to be the stream. Yeah, so Thursday was going to be Thursdays like are going to end up doing more crafting and stuff as well, but it's going to be sort of a continuation of this one, not as much, like there will be some tutorial aspect about doing horns and everything, but it won't be as intense as sort of making this thing. Aw, thank you, Crave More, for the follow. Crave you more. I get it. Thank you so much for the follow. Did I mention, Sadie only got her page an extra 4 likes from the Critical Role fan club. Aw, that's okay. That's okay. Facebook's kind of hard and everything, but that's really cool that you guys have the Critical Role fan club. I love that. Yeah, go down on my YouTube. Down there. It's Modern. Hello, Modern. Welcome. So, as always, when I start out my creative streams, I'm going to first go to my material list. So, the material list for today is obviously scissors, Worbla, and Worbla. I'm going to be using brown because I like the way that it shows up better on camera, and I don't know, black would probably be better for doing smoother helmets in a way because it is less grainy, so you'll have less finishing time that you're gonna have to do. However, I just like the way brown shows up on camera. I find it easier and it's more adhesive, so that's why I'm working with brown today. Craft foam, as always, will be the core of it. Heat gun, you have to have a heat gun, and I'll show these materials. Masking tape, so the masking tape slash duct tape slash whatever type of tape you would like to use to make your base pattern. I did that earlier, and that the pattern making, like I said before, is on a previous episode that you can see on YouTube. My trusty paint scraper, my trusty protractor. Now I will show you guys the foam head and the foam ball. You are making this in the image of your own head. Now, your helmets are supposed to fit you exactly, so you're not using the foam head as a base to make the helmet, but the foam head is very, very helpful when you are looking at proportions and you can't look on your own head and you want to do designing and stuff. So yes, I'll show you the foam head. References, obviously you need your reference source material. Again, foam balls, when you're doing really big curves, you really would like a foam ball to help smoothing things out, and a ruler. So, let's just see, Kate, you'll have to Google who came up with the name Worbla at some point. Worbla is actually a German word. So it's Worbla. It was a German material that was used to make countertops. So you would like do your countertop or whatever, and you take your piece, like your big sheets of Worbla, and you put it on in between you putting your marble or your grouting or something, and it provided far more structure, and now it's just like super duper popular in the crafting industry. So yes, it is German. Hey Athelian, how are you doing? Oh, you missed your comments last Sunday, Modern. You would have had a field day from the last 20 minutes of Northern Fan God. Oh, totally. You would have loved it, Modern, if you had been able to see the, like, oh my God, it was super duper fun. It was super fun live at the con. Okay, so no, it was made for countertops. So you actually thought for ages Worbla was a character people were cosplaying. Nice, Modern. Very good. Aw, Allie Viper, learning, yay! Thank you. So learning is fire. Thank you so much for the cheer, Allie. I totally appreciate it. I love that things show up now. That's so great. And I will be working hard to make like super duper special like donation things. Like I don't want just like the standard donation thing. I want things to be really like unique and special. So I'm, Levennis, thank you. Wish you could give me more because I deserve it. Oh no, you're so sweet. I just love that you're here. Thank you, Levennis. Oh my God. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, actually, before, you may or may have not learned here that it was a crafting material. Right? See, it's a good thing you tune in, Modern, because you are learning all the things. Aw, thanks, Levennis. I appreciate that too. Okay, so the first thing, actually, before I get into this, I just wanted to do a little side thing. I want to just try something really, really quick. I hope you guys don't mind. I will be getting into the crafting of this, but I just wanted to try this very quick because I was grabbing some materials for the show. And do you remember how I have always talked about black Worbla and brown Worbla and all of the adhesions and all of that stuff, right? Dookie Cooker Son help you? If you want to learn how to build cosplays, I can definitely help that. Aw, Discreet, yay, thank you for hosting my stream. So, at my booth, I did a panel last weekend at Northern Fan Con, and I did a thermoplastics panel and a little bit of an explanation about Worbla. Now, one of the amazing women that attended, who is this wonderful cosplayer, she heard me say, you know, this is black Worbla, this is brown Worbla, this is clear Worbla, this is what all they do. And then I said the sentence, yes, I said the sentence, I have never had the chance to work with red Worbla. Aw, Marco, thank you so much for the follow. So yeah, so I said I have never had the chance, and you guys know this, that I have never had the chance to work with red Worbla. I have heard rumors and myths about it, but I have never had the chance to do it. So the next day at my booth, she brought me a piece of red Worbla. And she said, here, you can experiment and everything. So this is my first time ever working with red Worbla. So I figured that we will get to doing the helmets and everything. But I thought I would take just a quick little 5 minutes to experiment with this because I wanted to share this with Ustream. I wanted you guys to experience the experimenting as well. So hopefully you guys don't mind. I'm just going to take just a minute. I just want to heat it up and kind of see what's happening, what this thing does. Yes, red Worbla. I know, hey? Yeah, Kira, you've been curious about red Worbla as well. So have I. I have no idea what it is going to be like. Nice, discreet. You haven't found out the hosting side yet, but no one watches AJ. Oh, whatever, Brad. I'm just glad that you're here. Yes, and Miria, it totally was so sweet of her to come and to bring me this piece of red Worbla, so I just wanted to actually experiment with it a bit. Before we get into our helmet building, I just wanted to heat it up and sort of see what is actually going to happen. Hey Stella, how are you doing? Discreet, how different can it be? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I can definitely feel a difference between black and brown, especially with like adhesion factors and stuff. Like you can just look at the difference between, you know, black Worbla, and this has been on my floor, but you can see how much smoother it is versus the brown Worbla, which you can actually see more grittier pigments. So the first thing I'm just going to plug my heat gun in just to be prepared. And there it is. Sorry, I just had to grab my extension cord. Okay, so the first thing, yay, you made it back from field school, Stella. Awesome. Hey, Stevie, how are you doing? I am doing great. We're going to learn how to make helmets tonight. Except I'm just doing a quick little test of this amazing piece of red Worbla that I found. So, just looking right now, this is just like my first analysis of this. Just looking right now, brown Worbla and black Worbla seems a tiny bit thinner than brown Worbla. I can feel the little bit of thinness. However, red, looking at it, actually seems to be the thickest amongst all three. I can feel the structure of it feels actually a little bit thicker. However, the outside is almost a mix between the two. It definitely is not, let's see if you can see this. It definitely still has some grainy bits, and it is not as smooth as the black Worbla. So just looking at the black Worbla, you can see, this is dirty because it's on the floor, but you can see there's far more of a sheen and less kind of grainy bits. The red does not, it seems to be smoother than brown, however, definitely not as smooth as black, but it really does seem, I don't know if you can kind of see that edge, but it really does seem actually a fair amount thicker than the black or the brown. Let's see. Have I used the single tooth vampire bite yet, Brad? No, I totally haven't. It was, oh, I was kicking around here. I showed it last stream. I have it in my bag, and I'll put it on for Thursday, I promise. I'll put it right here and I'll do the vampire bite. Okay, so I'm just moving these over because these are important. Those are all part of our helmets. But I'm just going to cut a little piece off of it and I just want to heat it. Hey, Jay Bloomers, how are you doing? I just want to heat it and actually see. Okay, so here's what it sounds like when it cuts. So you can hear it actually does feel a little bit thicker than black Worbla for sure. So I'm just going to experiment. I just want to heat it right now. I really have been curious to see what this is going to do. It looks like it'll be better for adhesive as well. I want to see. I want to see actually how sticky. Whoa. Okay, so the adhesion in this side, even just heating it a bit, actually feels quite a bit stickier. So it's going a bit of a darker red color. Now I just want to see what the tearing is like. Ow. Ooh, it's hotter than regular Worbla. Okay, with this amount of heat and this amount of time, I can already feel a difference of heat. It doesn't tear as much as the black, but it still does tear in the corner if you were to misuse it. Now, let me just grab a little, I'm just going to make a little triangle right here. So I'm just going to cut these in half. Now, I am curious how much, if it is stickier or if it isn't. It does feel smoother than the brown, but not as smooth as the black. Aw, Race, hello. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay. So I'm heating it. It does feel hotter. Like, it feels like the temperature is a lot hotter. It looks more rigid when it's colder, too. Yeah, it totally does, right? Let's see. Aniria, you'll be in Toronto on Thursday for a work conference on Fridays. Hopefully you won't miss it while exploring Toronto. I'm sure you won't, but I hope you have a wonderful time for when you explore Toronto. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing is that it cools down. It gets really hot and then it cools down like immediately thicker, cooler when you are working with it. It really does seem to cool down quite a bit. So I'm just doing the good old patented sandwich method. So I'm pushing that in, just made my little triangle. Now I'm curious about, I'm just gonna cut this quick. Does feel a slight bit thicker around this stuff. So the myths that I heard about Red Worbla and what I heard online about it was that it actually is thicker and it is meant more so for prop design. So for doing scenery or settings or something. So this is a little bit concerning. I want to show this to you guys. So this is just some of my edges that I put down and already I am being able to peel them apart. I'm not too sure if it is just because I didn't push hard enough, but I am almost able a little bit to have it come up. Not too much, but a tiny little amount. See, it's peeling up. I can peel it up just a little bit. But I do have to say that it is thicker. And look at the smoothness on the outside. Much similar to black Worbla. But it really is, like if you look at two pieces together, it is thicker. It seems a lot thicker than the brown. So as far as it seems stickier than the black, definitely, and a little bit smoother than the brown. So I don't know, maybe this Red Worbla could actually be like the perfect happy medium between the two. So it's really going quite rigid. I want to heat this and just see how it is with like turning this into like a bit of a curve. I mean, it really does seem smoother. and it seems stronger than black. So I don't know, maybe red Worbla is kind of the like new way to go. So I'm just gonna like put this sort of around my finger a bit, even though it's like really hot, just because I want to see what it's like when it takes a curve. It is not as smooth as black, that is true, but it is smoother than grainy. So I don't know, maybe red Worbla is kind of the way of the future. I'm pretty impressed. Like the first time that I tried clear Worbla, it was, I was shocked to find out that it wasn't adhesive and that it really sucked like that. So yeah. Let's see. So it looks more rigid when it's colder too. Yeah, totally. Your heart dropped when your hand crept towards the heat gun. I know. Oh, it did. I burnt it just a wee little bit. Oh, and in area, you will find so many amazing fabric stores in Toronto. Like, I'm jealous you're going to the big city. It's definitely just like full of incredible fabric stuff. Yes. Oh, hey, Epic Brian Wilson. How are you doing? What is up? So yeah, let's see. So it's, you know, I kind of just like put this over my finger. Like, let's say it's like sort of like a claw or something, you know? So I did put this over my finger, and it is, I mean, it's still cooling, but it is holding its 3D shape decently well. I'll have to see what it's like when it's fully cool, because it does seem a little more, I don't know if it's more flexible, if it's just the nature of it. But now you can see the graininess that has come in when I have shaped it. So not as bad as the brown, but definitely is taking some grains in there. So little wee tad bit of graininess, but I'm pretty impressed overall as far as red Worbla is considered. So that is something interesting and something new that I learned today. Hey, Monica, how are you doing? Oh, no, you're not late at all. We haven't actually started the tutorial yet. I just did a quick little, a lovely person at Northern Fan Con gave me a sample of red Worbla, and I was just experimenting with it and testing it out, and it actually seems like it might be a little bit better, let's say, than black, just because it's still smooth, but it has way more adhesion than black. So yes, all right. So getting back into the helmet tutorial, I'm just going to, as always, go over my materials. So first thing on there was scissors. Just have yourself a good pair of scissors. Some Worbla. I have cut these into some edging, as well as I have Worbla for all of my pattern pieces right here. And I will explain the pattern pieces and everything in a little bit. Paint scraper, super duper helpful for doing your straight edgings. Hey Chan Cosplay, how are you doing? And hey Aquiel Cosplay, how are you doing? So is red Worbla the new product, Brian? I don't know. Like, it could be. I'm actually pretty impressed with the sort of dual nature that it is of it. And yeah, modern pasta. It's not quite pasta. It's my edging. It's my Worbla edging strips. See, like all of these things, you know, see all this right here and all that and stuff. Those are all my edgings. So I'm just going to put that down right now. So the two things that I want to talk about, one is the Styrofoam Ball. Oh, I gotta go get that. Okay. Thank you, Ethereal Ash, for the follow. I appreciate that so much. Brad just told me to go look at your stuff and that you're doing some really crazy horns, so I'll have to go check that out, and I just dropped stuff. Okay, so I have my ball. I know, RP ball. So I have my ball. And here you have to pack light. You can only take carry unless you want to pay for extra bag. Well, it depends on how much fabric you get, because if you are really going to town with the fabric, it might be worth it to pay for the extra bag so that you have something to bring your fabric back in. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Totally, that's what we're doing here. That's the name of the game here today, is we're doing some hardcore dodgeball. I am so sorry that flew all over the place. Okay. So I just wanted to mention the Styrofoam Ball. So you don't, the styrofoam ball is useful for, sorry, this camera is just like wandering all over the place. I had this like perfect setup and then it just got totally wrecked. Okay, it's back. So the styrofoam ball is incredibly useful for a number of things. Now you're not going to use it to shape on, but what you will use it for is it's something that can go inside and can round out on the inside some of your seam lines and everything. Because the last thing that you're going to want is having big jagged things poking out on the inside of your helmet. Now, you would be okay if you're wearing a wig, but even sometimes it can just cause pressure on your head. And you know how pressure on the head can do when you're at a con all day and you start getting a headache and it just like goes from there, right? So any sort of size of styrofoam ball is really, really great. Oh, Stella, since you've missed a few weeks, it's going on 3D printer. I talked to a man named Joey, and Joey kind of figured a few things out. There was like 7 emails, 6 phone calls, 5 phone calls, something like that later. Like, it was a pretty big mess, but on Tuesday, I packed up the printer and sent it off for a return. So I am hoping that I will hear something next week about when they are going to be sending me my new one. And then hopefully in like a week, I should be doing back up and running and actually doing a 3D printing tutorial stream. So here's hoping, fingers crossed. It was a big ol' mess. So yes, it was just nuts. Yes, so the styrofoam ball is going to, I'm just gonna put that in my Murloc cup for the moment. It's gonna be great for getting inside areas and for smoothing out some of your seam lines. Now, the one thing I was saying is the wig head. So this is a styrofoam wig head that you can get at, they sell them all year round. Mine's like super dented and it has holes and stuff all over it. And there's like, you know, it's pretty bad. There's like pins and stuff like in my wig head and whatever, but that's okay because I use it for a lot of things. So, yeah, I'm really stoked it's getting sorted. So hopefully this is going to happen soon. Like, I have all my 3D printing materials just like sitting there and collecting dust. So I'm pretty sad. Like all my PLA filament and whatever, but whatever. I will totally figure it out. So yeah, Ethereal Ashy, your wig heads are dead too. So wig heads are incredibly helpful in making a helmet. Not because you are actually going to, again, be sort of shaping this on the wig head, but you will be kind of using it to check proportions with things. So I use my wig head a ton when making my Vaporeon helmet because even though it wasn't my own head, it helped me just look at certain levels of proportions. You can say, I want this to be here. You got your base on there. You can see like what it is actually going to look like when it's complete. When you are attaching things, like say you're attaching stuff like your wings or I mean your ears on the side, right? Like your fins. You can use the wig head to judge exactly what the angles should be, how far they should be apart, and all of that. But as you can see, the problem with wig heads is that wig heads are not shaped to your own personal head. So look at how big this is on this wig head. If I had actually made a helmet using my wig head as the base pattern, it would be way, way, way too small for me. So wig heads are incredibly helpful, but I would not recommend using them to create your pattern just because everybody's head is kind of different. So, you stepped away for a minute, but did you hear your name? No, Brad. I don't know if I said Brad. I may have. Yes, so as you can see, my helmet, this helmet that I've made specifically, and the one that I will be showing you how to make today, just sort of the base and everything, is bigger than my head. Now, the reason why you make your helmet just slightly bigger than your head is for sort of a multiple multitude of reasons. The first and foremost reason being is that you want to make sure that you're able to get it on your head, right? You don't want to create something like, say, on your wig head and you make it way too small and then it's just like you can't even get it on. The second and most important thing that you have to remember is that usually, and this is not every cosplayer, and I'm not saying that you have to do this as a cosplayer, but more often than not, cosplayers will wear wigs. So you need to account for the volume of hair underneath that your wig is going to create. So it really is going to create, even though you've got your own hair here, you need to remember you're putting your hair up, you're having a wig on, you are going to be wearing something underneath this helmet that is going to give maybe, you know, a little centimeter extra of space. Now, if you have made it to your head without a wig on, you will put your wig on, try to get your helmet on, and it's not going to fit. Or else it's just going to be that little smidge too tight that by the end of the day, you're going to be dying. You are going to have the worst headache ever. So make sure to account for a wig being underneath. Discreet, there isn't enough material to fit your big head specifically if it needs to be slightly bigger. That's not even true, Discreet. That is not even true. Don't even. Okay, so first up, just quick thing. Any questions? The last thing I just want to say just about the wig head is that while you can get it at Michael's all year round, I would suggest going to Value Village at Halloween time. So during Halloween time at Value Village, they have like massive containers full of these heads and they sell them for $3. Whereas Michael's all year round sells them for about $10 to $15, which is okay, but I would rather get, you know, 3 for the price of 1. So I would go at Halloween time, and I always do this every Halloween, is I go and I stock up and I go in there and I buy usually about 10 wig heads or something, just so that I know I'm going to have enough and I can destroy them like this if I really need to. Okay, so now you know where to stock up on wig heads. Totally, Value Village is great for it. I like how I called Piazza. Yeah, totally. Well, I'm sure you have a lovely, beautiful sized head. Okay. Michael's is crazy expensive. Yeah, Michael's can be crazy expensive. I find it's like pretty reasonably priced if you're doing sort of like one item with the 40 to 50% coupon. So whenever I go buy resins or my molding putty or something like that, I will only go in and buy the one thing, use the 50% coupon, and then even if I need other stuff, I'll go the next day and use the same coupon over again. So, also, any beauty store should have them. Oh, you know, Sally's does. Perfect. Thank you, Ethereal Ash. That is absolutely true. Sally's could for sure have them. I'm not too sure what the prices are at a beauty store. All I know is the Michael's price and then the Value Village price for during Halloween time. So that's just sort of what I would suggest. Yeah, hooray for Value Village in area. Totally. Only thing about the wig heads is that they don't have the hole at the bottom for using a stand, the Value Village ones. No, they don't. Though, I mean, if you're buying them for $3 and they're cheap enough, you could totally just, like, carve in a hole. I have never really had the problem with one. The other thing I like about them being, like, the light foam and everything is that I have actually, say I've been going to a con and I haven't had a chance to style my wig yet, I will just pack this in my suitcase. And then I can have it there where I can put my wig on it and I can style my wig and stuff at the convention. But this is so light because it's just styrofoam that it doesn't take up that much weight or anything in my bag, because if you're over a certain weight at the airport, you have to pay extra money for oversized. And being a cosplayer, that can get like incredibly expensive. So yes. JCB cosplay. Michael's is so close to make multiple trips in one day and buy like one item type. Totally. Like I'll go out the store and then turn around and go back in and use the coupons again because they're, but you know, I also get a, it's either 10 or 15% discount because I'm a teacher. So that's really awesome. I get off my whole purchase every time. I just need to like provide my teaching ID, right? My teacher's card. So, okay. So does anybody have any questions about the process thus far? Okay. And hi. Hello. Hello. JCB Cosplay. Okay. So getting started to making the helmet. I'm just going to take this. Kane, you know some clothing stores in your area usually throw them off after a while to change them. Would they be good? Try to get one. No, so Kane, if the ones that I'm thinking of, hi Stevie, and hello Argentina, to Argentina. So let's see, would they be good to try to get them one when they're about to throw it off, or is the material bad? So if the ones that I'm thinking that you're talking about, Kane, are the actual like plastic ones, I am not too sure. I've never actually worked with a plastic one. I've only worked with foam ones. The thing that I like about foam particularly is the ability that A, I don't need to worry about burning plastic if I'm working with Worbla, and B, I like that I can, let's just take, it's just a little piece of scrap fabric I had on the ground. So say I'm trying to like build a headpiece or something. I could take this and then I can actually pin it through. Can you see what I'm doing? Right over here. So if you can kind of see, there you go. So I'm actually pinning material through onto my wig head so that I can work with it easier. The same thing goes for if I were to be styling a wig. I can take bobby pins. I think I just had a bobby pin. Yeah, right over here. So I could take bobby pins and I can actually like stick them through the wig head like that, through the wig, so that the wig will totally stay in place, and then I can have free hands when I'm styling it. So I'm not, if you are talking about the plastic ones, I'm not too sure how you would go about that, and that's why I like foam. Can you come over and teach you in person? I teach over the internet. That's what I do. Plus, I doubt that we live even close. It would be, yeah. If I could, I would love to have a cosplay school, and then everybody could come and we could be like, class is in, and actually do some like real schooling. So that would be super duper fun. So I'm just trying to, this camera likes to really drift on me. So I'm just moving that over. Okay. So yeah, so that's the only thing, Kate. I'm sure that they would that the plastic ones would be totally fine for things that you're doing. But I just like foam because of the multiple uses that I can have. And also because I know that, like specifically with the bobby pins, or that if I'm putting Worbla on it, I mean, it is styrofoam and styrofoam can burn and can whatever, but I feel like it's going to be a lot less, you know, severe than putting it on like a certain specific plastic. So, SCAD might be creating a cosplay minor. That would be super cool. I would love to have that. Yeah, so school uniform would be cosplays. Everybody would just make their own school uniform and they'd all be cosplays. Yeah, Modern, you'd be in detention every day. Every day after school writing lines on the chalkboard. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to move some of this stuff over into creating our helmets. Now, I'm going to show you specifically how to create a helmet base. Now, this base is sort of a general one. I'm not sure how good it's going to be for the Crusader, but the Crusader would be better to create a base that doesn't actually have like a forehead area, but I really want to show you guys something that is going to be practical for all of your uses. So sort of a very basic helmet shape that you could see. It's the same sort of shape as Magneto. It's the same sort of shape as just one of the basic like foot soldiers of the Stormwind Guard. It is the same sort of shape as a lot of really, really specific helmets. Okay. Hey, Berserker Works. How are you doing? So glad you came to join. Alrighty, so let's get started. So we're going to get started doing our super fun crafting times. And I should probably move my Murloc mug with my coffee over, but I just want my coffee because it's super good. Hey, Smasherino. Thank you so much for the follow. I totally appreciate that. Oh, a pizza's calling. I want pizza right now. Okay. So, okay, that's the last. I'm going to leave my Murloc mug over there. Okay. So, the last time that when I did patterning and did the patterning episode, which you guys should go check out on YouTube, I explained the entire method of doing patterns where you will saran wrap your head and duct tape it up to create your pattern. Now, that is what I did. I did the saran wrap duct tape method. And so I did that last time we were doing, I'm just looking, I don't even have any saran wrap kicking around right this moment. But I showed you guys that the last time that we were doing patterns. And I actually saran wrapped up my whole head and then we taped it off and I drew on my patterns. Doing patterns like that, especially for making helmets, is super duper helpful because you're making it on your own. So once again, that technique is you take saran wrap, you make sure you have air holes, like poke your air holes out, right? And you wrap up your head and you tape it up with either masking tape or duct tape, and then you draw on your pattern. So the first thing, oh, Pizza's calling you, that I did want to show is here is my pattern that I have made. Well, this is my duct tape pattern that I have made from the saran wrap duct tape method. My other one, I'm just going to try really hard to get this apart. It fell on the ground and it folded over on itself, and I got really sad because I wanted to show you guys the full pattern. I'm trying so hard to get it apart. This is why I don't necessarily like to use duct tape when I do my patterns, is because duct tape is like super industrial. And so while it is really sticky, it's very, very, can be really frustrating if this ever happens. Hey, Live by Night, how are you doing? Oh, yes. So, Kiri, for the Aussies in the room, saran wrap is cling wrap or glad wrap. Absolutely. So, if you are curious about this pattern making method that I'm telling you about, go down to my YouTube and click on it, and you can go to the pattern making stream episode and you'll see a detailed tutorial of how to make all sorts of different patterns, patterns for your head, patterns for your bracers, patterns for your breastplate, all of that kind of stuff. So, let's see. Oh, so Ernie's gone to go get his pizza and everything. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this. I got this apart. Here are my patterns that I made by doing that method. Now I'm going to just kind of assemble them right here, just to sort of, so you can see. And I'm just assembling this one on top of this one. I'm gonna have to pop it out. So just so you guys can kind of see, this is only half of a helmet, mind you. Just want you to know that. Ban the man. Yeah, there you go. Can you ban it? I don't know if you can. Well, it's very sticky. It is really sticky. Totally, Kane. Totally, Kane. Oh, and you said, Kane, you're so helpful last time we did our crafting session. That was super good when we did our LED tutorial. Kane, our resident electrician, our resident engineer up in here. Okay, so I'm just sort of reassembling it quick so you can kind of get an idea of my pattern. Yeah, just ban the man. He's you know, if he's asking for it, you can do that. That's fine. I like to please here on my channel. So I don't know if you can kind of see this. Ugh, it's just so hard to do this on computer stuff. So I don't know if you can kind of see, but you can see how the helmet just comes down. It is a super standard basic helmet pattern. It comes down to, oh, it's gotta be about halfway, right? It comes down to about here, about like that. So this is just a really, really basic helmet shape, and I want to show you guys this first, just so you can get an idea of how to make a simple, basic base pattern. So I know what is going on. See, Modern's taking care of it. Modern's just talking to him. He's just talking to the man. All right. And, so this is just a simple, basic helmet pattern that we are just going to be making. Super duper simple. And this is going to be the base of the helmet that we are working on today. So I just want to show you guys the actual pattern that I made. So the next thing, Kiri, okay, so you've got a quick question about the pattern. If you're doing it with the wig on and your hair in a bun, if I have super long hair, how do you compress it and make it look rounded? Yours always end up being a weird oval shape at the back because of your hair. So I'll show you this right now. Just 1 second. This is much more of a, aw, thanks so much for the, oh, it's Nikita. Thanks for the follow. And now he's following, and now he wants to be banned. So, I don't know. Okay, so this is, I'm going to show you a quick way that I actually put up my hair. You may have quite long hair, but I'm just going to show just really, really quick for under wigs. So, I will do just a tiny little tuck in the back, and then I will flop it over. And instead of actually doing a bun in the back, hey Tino Stark, how are you doing? I'm so glad you just got here. We're making helmets today. So instead of doing a bun in the back, I will, hey CK Cosplay, no, we're not doing the plastic wrap today. I made the pattern previously because you already saw me wrap my head in plastic. I did the plastic making pattern already in my patterning video, and I just was not super stoked to wrap my head in plastic again because I already did it on stream. And if you just go look at the patterning video, you can absolutely see exactly how I did it. So, yes, Kiri. I know, it was fun. It was super fun and almost scary to kind of do it on stream. But you guys get the idea of exactly how I made that pattern. So this is what I'm showing you, Kiri. Yes. So I do it flat. I just literally flatten all of my hair on top of my head like so. And I take pins and I pin it as flat as I possibly can. Then you get, so sorry. Then you get your wig cap and you throw your wig cap on, which also again helps flatten it. And you can see that my hair is actually, I could even flatten it even more, but you can kind of see that my hair is decently flat. I don't have any sort of puffs in the back or anything. It's just laying pretty flat. Can you kind of see that? So, no puffs in the back, just decently flat hair. And then when you put your wig on, and especially when you wrap the saran wrap around it, you're just going to be getting a nice rounded shape. So hopefully that helps, Kiri. That's how I always put on wigs. And that's how I don't have one. Maybe I do. Just trying to see if I have one kicking around here somewhere. Going into the wig box. Yeah, so you can kind of see that's how I put on my wigs. Then if I were to say my barbarian one, which is completely wrecked, then if I were to say put one on over top, it fits on so nicely and so perfectly. And that wig is completely and utterly wrecked. But you can see it fits on nicely, and then I would saran wrap up my hair with the wig on that I'm going to wear for this cosplay. So there are no bumps, there are no lumps. Everything is nice and perfect and flat. And even if you have long hair, if you're worried about it, Kiri, then I would do it after you've just gotten out of the shower, and you can put your hair down flat a lot easier. So I got that one. Got my red wig. And, oh, I don't know, here's a nice little blonde wig I got going on. And I'm just going to take that off and take all the pins out. And yay! You have too much hair for a wig cap. Oh, come on, Ernie. So yeah, I hope that that was helpful, Kiri. So yeah, just delete. Anyway, so I don't even know what's going on in chat. Everybody's just going off about deleting and about all this stuff, and I'm not too sure. Hey, Namia, how are you doing? I'm so glad you were able to join. So yeah, that's kind of how I do it, Kiri. I mean, I don't have that much hair, but I don't have that little. Like, my hair is not super short, so that's exactly how I put my hair up in a wig cap, and especially how I get it flat. Okay. So this is the pattern that I just created for a basic helmet shape. Hey, Fencer Dan, thank you so much for the follow. So this is a pattern that I created for a basic helmet shape, and that should be a bit lower. This is very similar to my Vaporeon helmet pattern. It's just a good pattern. I got those sort of arcs up with the eyes. Very similar to a Goldshire foot soldier or something like that, to a Magneto helmet, whatever kind of, you know, base helmet. All I need actually for the Crusader, because there's going to be a full face piece, is just this rounded part in the back to sit onto my head. But I thought that I would show you guys something with a little design on the front. I only need these pieces so that you can get an idea of exactly how to start making your own helmets. So once you've traced your pattern, once you've saran wrapped up your head and duct taped it and everything, you will then trace your pattern. Aw, thanks, Dee, for the follow. I totally appreciate that. You've honestly been tempted to take off about 4 or 5 inches of your hair? No way. I'm trying to grow mine out because it got totally wrecked from dying. Oh, thank you, Aquareal Cosplay. Thank you so much for the follow. I totally appreciate it. Okay. So yes. So once you have done your pattern, you need to divide it, especially when you're doing rounded things, into, some people do 4 parts on each side. I like to do 3 because I want to limit the amount of seam lines as possible. So I drew my lines and I put it into 3 manageable pieces for assembly. Now, the thing is with making helmets is that unless you are, say, 3D printing this or whatever, even if you're using foam, even if you're using some other types of materials, because it is so rounded, you are going to have to make your helmets into different parts, which means you are going to have seam lines. Now, have I ever tried tin foil? You find it helps compensate for the wig hair without needing to put on the wig. Oh, perfect. I've not actually done tin foil. I've just put on my wig just because I know that this is the specific thing I'm going to be wearing that day of the con, so I want everything to be tailored as perfectly as I possibly can. So now, as I was saying, you're going to have seam lines. Every single one of these pieces of Worbla back here are covering up a seam line. You can take care of seam lines in 2 ways. One, you can use edging and put it into the decorative aspect of it. Or 2, you can fill it in with filler. You can still see mine a little bit right there, so you can still kind of see them. But you can fill it in with some form of either wood filler or putty or something, and you can sand it down before you prime it so that you're getting rid of the seam lines. There's 2 ways to do it, but even when you do foam, even when you do anything, because this is so rounded and you're using flat materials, unless you are 3D printing something, chances are you're going to have seam lines somewhere. Now glasses time, right? Since I already wear a wig. No glasses time yet. No glasses time yet. Maybe when my eyes get tired, but yes. Okay, so like I said, I've broken down my helmet into 3 different patterns. Then I have traced them onto craft foam, like so. So these are my craft foam patterns, labeled that B1, you know, these are, then I've made the Worbla sides of it. So I will show you an example of one of these and what I just did on one little thing, but not all of them. That's why I pre-prepared some of my stuff. And thank you so much for the follow. So I'm just gonna put these ones to the side. You use wood filler, it dries fast. Perfect, yeah. Those wood filler can be great for seam lines. There's a whole bunch of different like epoxy putties and stuff that you can use, and you put it on and then you sand it off, and yeah. Or you can take like the route of doing decorative designs over top of the seam lines. So I'm just going to grab just a wee little bit of foam over here. And I've just got some, this is your just basic, I forget what it was, whatever millimeter, just the basic craft foam that you can get at any dollar store. I get the big rolls at Michael's. And so what I did was I put it on, and sometimes it's very hard when you're doing a rounded pattern onto foam. Can you use the white molding clay that dries fast and hard and sand down? Sure. Epoxy sculpt is a little bit meant more so for details and designs, but if you wanted to fill it into the cracks and sand it down, you absolutely can. So yes, for sure you can. So like you can see, it's sometimes harder to do with kind of rounded patterns. You want to make sure you're pushing it as flat as you possibly can onto, and I know it's sort of weird, but then the foam will end up bending, but that's okay. But you want to make sure, see how the foam is sort of starting to arc and bend a little bit? It's because this tape is just so tight on there, but you want to try to get like almost exact of a pattern as you possibly can. So I just put my tape onto my foam. This is why sometimes the duct tape is really good. And then I'm going to just take my pen and trace around my pattern. So this is the pattern that I made on my own head, and am now using it to make my craft foam patterns, which are the sandwich part. They are the meat of our Worbla sandwich that go in between. Alrighty. So I have it all traced out. Then all I do is just flick it up, peel it off. I've got one of my patterns there. Then I like to save these and put these to the side because they're always great to have. It's always great to have these type of patterns kicking around. Yes. Oh, you're doing well. How am I? You just hopped on to say hi. You're in van with your mom for Mother's Day. Oh, awesome. I maybe stream a bit later. So yeah, come back, Namia, for sure. I did. I bought my mom flowers and she loved that. So she was super excited about that. And yes, I hope all of you guys have had lovely Mother's Days or Aunt's Day or Stepmother's Day or Father's Day or whoever's day, grandma's day or whatever, because every family is different and everybody has different situations and things. So, you know, it's like my dad passed away, so I call my mom on Father's Day and tell her what a special job she's done and everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, everybody's a different thing. So I hope you've had a wonderful day with somebody that you loved and helped raise you. So yes. Okay, so I've taken my pattern, and then usually I'll just label it like A1 or something, and I'll do a little like arrow or whatever that's like this side up. I don't know, because that's just kind of the way that I roll. And then I will take my scissors and just cut my pattern out. Now, then you need to redo this one more time for the other side, because this is all in two-sided pieces. There you go. Awesome. And then, once again, you are going to do this again, and you are going to take your pieces of Worbla, and you're going to measure out your pattern for the sandwich method. And see, I've left decent amounts around it just so that I have enough space to be able to sandwich my stuff and to give a seam line. Hey, Haskilios, how are you doing? We're just here learning how to make some helmets. Hooray! Your sister's watching and likes my shirt. She wants to know where I got. Oh, I got this Galaxy shirt at Ardene's for like $5. They had this big like end of year sale, something, whatever, and I just picked it out there. So it's just a nice, like, I always wear just sort of chill shirts and my leggings and stuff when I craft, because it's better to be comfortable and chill when you are crafting. Yes, space shirt. Aw, you gotta go. You got the big thingy at school tomorrow. All right. Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad that you came to join. So that's all of the pre-steps that I have done, is I just have gotten all of my pattern pieces, made their little sandwich bits, traced them all out, and made all of their craft foam pieces for it. So I'm going to now start actually building my helmet and putting it together. So I like to start one side at a time, because I find it easier to start on one side and then to assemble it down the middle than I do for to, you know, do other different type of things, right? To do like front and then side and then whatever. I do find it easier to do one side. And thank you so much for the follow, JCB Cosplay. Thank you. So, oh, you just looked at your Twitch page and you're already hosting. Yay, you're auto-hosting. Thanks, Brad. I didn't even know that. I appreciate that so much. Oh, you see a Saint Seiya themed space shirt to feel your cosmos. No, we're not doing a Saint Seiya cosplay. We're actually working on doing this helmet. Now, it's definitely not going to get that far done, but we're just working on making the base, and then Thursday will be the continuation and finish scene. Aw, your cat's getting into something. I wish I had a little kitty cat. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm going to start with, since I just grabbed this first, I'm going to start with, actually, I'm going to start with A. I don't know why. I always start with A. Even though they're both the same, I just feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, A should be done first. Okay, so here's A, and then I need my other A piece, which is, that's B. So it means this one is my A. Yes. Okay. So I think I'm going to start with the smallest piece and my front piece. Now, I will sort of be shaping this on my own head, but because the pieces are made sort of rounded already, it's kind of already going to, it's going to sort of shape itself. It's sort of tough to explain, but you will see once I have done it. So I'm going to start with this one first, and I just need to make sure. So yeah, so it's going to be this side down, because this is the side that, so I'm going to be doing this side right here. So it's this side down, like that. All right. So let's start Worbla-ing. Yay. Worbla time. Cats are the best. Aw, I wish my kitty was at my feet right now. It's 003 here. Warning. Wow. Oh man, that's a lot more difficult to piece than the piece that you're doing. Let's see, Fencer Dan. I just want to go to it really, really quick. No, I mean, yours is like super duper complicated as well. Like, that seems like a really complicated helmet also. Mine is more so is that, like, it's, I don't know, it looks complicated, but more so it's like making the base is simple, and then it's all the pieces that are on top of it. Thank you for the follow. I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. I can't read that, but thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so let's just start out with this with the simple, small first piece. And this is where things like your wig head and everything are going to come into handy, because it'll help you with your shaping and stuff. But because it's already measured to your own head, you won't need to worry too much about that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Worbla this up, and I want to do my written side, the side that I wrote on. So the side that I wrote on, I'm going to do that, oops, like this down, okay? So we're going to start with this side. So I'm going to do that down, and I'm just going to start warbling it up. So while I'm warbling, since this is pretty standard, just heating the warble up, I'm using high heat because I'm used to it. I would suggest using lower heat so that you can alleviate more bubbles, but this is just good for me. Prepare for the heat gun jelly. How I tried to read all the names. I know, I was like, yes, did it look Korean? I wasn't too sure, and I was like, oh, thanks for that. And I couldn't specifically read the name, but I like to acknowledge everybody that comes in and follows, which I totally appreciate. So yeah, it did look Korean. Chris Cosplay, question on headpieces. Need to make a Sailor Moon hairstyle with a wig. How do I recommend make the super extra long hair pieces? So are you talking about Sailor Moon with her like meatball heads and then her super long pieces? Because if I were you, I would just order wefts. So there's things that are called, I would order sort of a pigtail wig that you can separate in the middle. But you can start building your hair longer by doing wefts. And what a weft is it is literally just like pieces of hair that are sold in a bundle. And Arda is really, really good. So like I'm just putting this face down and putting this over top of it. Arda is really good for selling just random wefts in like really, really long lengths. So that's what I would do is I would grab a couple packs of wefts and I would build my own Sailor Moon meatball longer pigtails. Okay, so just putting that on over top. I'm using a paper today that I'm not totally stoked about. I'm using wax paper instead of parchment paper, so it's like creating a little bit of smoke and a little bit of just heat. Because it's the wax, it's fine and everything, but it's just annoying. So you might see me open the door. Yeah, they've got hair tutorial as well, for sure. So you can get a pack of wefts and then you can use the Styrofoam Ball and actually use your wefts to glue a ball that looks very much so like for meatball head kind of style. So I would really check out, its wefts are going to be the way that you want to sort of create your own independent wigs. So because this is very, very rounded, I'm going to be using my protractor to do these edges. Now you want your edges to be very close to your foam. However, you don't want them to be sort of as close and tight. Like I'm making mine tight, but you want to, it's not about tightness. This is actually about having a decent amount of Worbla on the edge here so that the adhesion is going to be what you want with the helmet. So try to do it as tight as you can, but don't force it too much because you want to make sure that you are still going to have enough to adhere the pieces together. So nice and tight, as you can see, just did my little roundy part right here, sandwich method. Use my protractor to get those nice curves, and I'm just going to cut this. There we go. CK Cosplay, wefts were on sale on Arda recently for like $8. Oh, maybe, yeah. Like, Arda's always really good with having random sales of things, but their wefts, like I bought a pack of wefts before for, I forget which cosplay it was, but it was great, and there's a ton of them that are there. Hey, Free Fall, how are you doing? So glad you came. Am I cutting right in the center of the crease? Yep, so I've just put this crease here, right? That's how I sort of sandwiched my things together. And now I'm just cutting along the crease line. Though I am not going as tight as I normally would. I'm leaving just a small, like you can kind of see, I want you guys to see that. I'm not too sure if you can kind of see the edge there. See how I'm leaving just a little bit more than I normally would? It's because I want to make sure this is a helmet. So if you have craft foam that accidentally peeks out because you cut it too slim, you're going to have a little bit of a problem kind of attaching it all together. So you want to do the best with that stuff. All these terms you never knew about after following cosplayers. Yeah, wefts. Those are just like random hair. Like and they come in either like medium, which is like, I think about like this long. And then they come in like extra long, which is really long wefts. And they are perfect for Sailor Moon. Okay. So the next piece that I'm going to be heating will be the next piece that goes in this. Because I'm pausing to explain what I ideally should be doing is doing this as fast as I can so I don't have to heat this one up as much because I don't want it to get as many bubbles. But you can kind of see it's starting to bend. This is the attachment point that I will be doing of this piece. So now I have to Worbla up. This is the biggest piece, so it always takes a little bit longer. So I'm just going to put this on the side. I'm going to heat it up again, but it'll take less time to heat this one up again because it's smaller. Would keeping the edges on certain pieces be better to stick pieces together? Like put the edge underneath like tape. So I'll show you with the Vaporeon. You can kind of see on the inside, I do have a edging strip that goes all the way along the center line, like you sort of said, like tape, in a way, just to make sure that I am reinforcing. I will probably go into my lines here and everything and reinforce as well. So I'll probably reinforce this one as well, but I'm just saying that, like, ideally when you are doing the sandwich method, you want to cut as crisp and as close as possible to the craft foam. And there is the occasion that you're cutting so close that a little bit of craft foam is coming out. However, this one, you really want to make sure that while you are cutting it to the exact shape that you want, you're just leaving just that little fraction amount extra just so that you don't have any sort of problems with adhesion. So this is the big one. This is the biggest piece. Once again, I'm doing even heat. I'm spreading it around and just making sure that I'm doing this nice and evenly. Oh, this all starts with smoke inside. I just need it all to burn off, all the stupid wax to burn off. I'm heating up the other side. Let's see. Yeah, when Mithril wigs still existed, you bought purple wig for eventual Widowmaker cosplay and an extra long weft, and holy crap, it was super long. Yeah, they absolutely do sell like extra long or long wefts or whatever it is, and they are like really long. So I've seen a lot of people use those to make Sailor Moon wigs. And then they do the Styrofoam Ball gluing wefts on method. I have these, so now I'm putting this face down, still leaving room with some of my edges, and I'm going to take my paint scraper to run it along my stuff to try to get out as many air bubbles. Aw, thanks so much for the cheer, Lit by Night. Aw, for the eye holes of my helmet. Aw, thank you so much. Hey, Sandwich Method Hype, Lit by Night. Thank you. Oh. So for the eye holes of my helmet, will I put mesh to not allow anyone to see through other than you? No, Kane. I mean, this is, if you were doing something where the eyes actually, you know, sort of did, I want to be able to see through. I don't want to put mesh on it, especially since with something like Diablo a bit, I don't feel like mesh totally fits with the theme. If I was, say, making, like, I mean, I don't want to say Spider-Man as a, like, helmet, but you know, if I was making something that was a little bit more in like a superhero realm, I would most likely do something mesh related. But I want to have the helmet have eye holes and I can see out of it. Aw, thanks, Modern, and too cute. And I'm making it hard to not focus on doing work. Oh, yeah, because you're at work right now. You're always at work at this time. I remember one weekend, you're like, yeah, these people, like, not doing their work, and I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to take care of it. Oh, thank you, Modern. I totally appreciate that. So, yeah, it is wax paper. CK Cosplay. I should be doing parchment paper. However, I just like ran out of it at home and I didn't go to the grocery store to buy more. So I just ended up using wax paper because it was in the house and it will protect all of my stuff, but it's just smoking a bit because the wax is getting all uppity. So, yeah, no, so yes, as to your question, Kane, I don't think that I'm going to put mesh over the eye holes. I don't know, it's just a personal thing. I don't think that it totally fits with the Diablo Crusader thing, but you absolutely could put mesh over the eye holes if you wanted to actually block out your full eyes. All right. So I'm just sandwich methoding here. Yay, sandwiches! You got like 4 wigs and tons of wax when Metro was going out of business. Oh, I wish I had done that. That would have been sick. I've never actually bought from Mithril Wigs. I've only ever purchased from Arda. And then obviously like eBay and just random wig stuff like that. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lil Wolf. Thank you, Lil Wolf. Pretzels CK Cosplay. Okay. Ooh, it's hot. It gets so hot in here. And the door may have to go open soon. I may have to do my door squeakies. So this is a bigger piece. It's taking a little longer. But once again, I'm just doing the sandwich method and using my tool over top. Okay. There you go. And that is about all sandwiched right there. So I'm just going to cut out all the edges. Can I do the arcade? Little Wolf, for sure. Oh, Lip at Night, you want to make a Ruby Rose cosplay from Ruby one day, but money's tight right now. Oh, that's okay. Ruby Rose is a very classic character. She's become one of the ones that I see a lot of cosplayers do, so she'll always be waiting there for you when you can. Cam Sam, hello. How are you doing? Okay. Now I am just cutting out these pieces here. So with making a helmet, the one thing that's a little bit difficult is that you will have to be doing a lot of heating and reheating. Oh, you finished the basic shape of your second breastplate? You have to send me pictures. Random question, but how close to Whistler am I? I'm actually pretty far away from Whistler. I'm like, I don't know, 7 hours maybe. Like I'm not like right next to Whistler, that is for sure. But Whistler is awesome, and that would be super cool to be really close to it. Okay. Okay, so I've cut all this out, and now this piece is going to fit on right there. So I'm going to actually have to start molding this. I'm going to heat both of my pieces up again. Now, this is where I have to be very, very careful because this is where the majority of air bubbles will come from, is the heating and reheating of Worbla. Squeaky door height, totally. So this one's gone completely hard, so I'm going to have to super reheat this one again. So now I am just going to attach my pieces like so. I take very special care to do the like smooshing of them together, but soon enough I have to bring it up and start bending it because it is starting to go into a rounded shape. Now I'm doing my best to smoosh. See, I'm smooshing, but I need to really, really reinforce the rounded shape. So while I am trying to smoosh to make sure that the lines are all completely connected and they aren't going to rip off, I am now starting to bend it. This is where things like the Styrofoam Ball come really nicely into play. So you can see it's starting to bend up. Now I'm going to take my wig head just to kind of see and start reinforcing a shape just a bit. Okay. So this is the center, and it needs to get a little bit more bend here. Okay. And then now I'm just going to look at it onto my own head and actually turn around so I can just get to mirror just really, really quick. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure that this is shaping correctly. Okay. So I am literally just sort of shaping this onto my own head. Now it will end up shaping better after I need to heat it. I have to constantly heat it, reheat it, but I'm definitely sort of shaping this to my own head. Now if I was smart, I would have heated up all of the pieces and put it all together, but I was stupid and I decided to do them one at a time. So I'm gonna have to do that right now. So you can see the start of the helmet that's starting to come into play on that one side. This seam line right here is all right. It's not too shabby. And I'm going to, so I'm starting to shape this. I now have to, oh, thanks, Ernie. Thanks so much for the donation. I totally appreciate that. Thank you, Ernie. So I have to, yeah, it does look kind of like Raven's hairline, eh? Oh, bye, Fencer Dan. Thanks so much for coming and joining. Yay. And Heskelius, you're here. Awesome. Hey, Charlie. Nice to see ya. Aw. Let's see. Aw, thanks so much, Ernie. Aw. Accidentally ate all the pizza. So you can see the shape of the helmet that's kind of starting. Now this back part isn't shaped yet, and I was really actually kind of stupid to not heat all of them up at the same time, because now this is gonna have to be reheated. I just wanted to really attach and reinforce this front part. So can you see the helmet is starting to take shape? Okay, so now I'm gonna work on this back. Oh, I should have done this all at the same time. Oh no. No. Hey Crater Bob, how you doing? You're watching a charity marathon. Oh, awesome. Somebody saw I was on. Stop in and say hi. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, there is flooding in my province, and I totally just melted my styrofoam ball. So Crater Bob, he came in right at the time that the house is going to light on fire. Yay. So yes. Whoops. But it was nice to see you. Why do I have to heat them up again, Charlie? Oh, because this is a thermoplastic material, so this is just a flat material right now, but then I heat it and it will take complex 3D curves and it will go nice and hard. So that's what we are doing right now. So I'm going to just do this last piece, but it was really dumb of me because I should have heated everything together so that it would properly shape together. Now this is going to be heated again and I'll probably get lots of bubbles. So I'm going to do that for the next one. I'm going to sort of like heat them all up at the same time. Okay, so I'm heating up just my last piece right now. Aw, thank you, Charlie Oldie, for the follow. I totally appreciate that. Yeah, there is for sure a fire, for sure. Well, at least there's plenty of water outside to put out the fire. I will not light things on fire too much, Crater Bob, but I'm so glad that you came in to say hello, and I am totally lit that. And thank you so much again, Ernie, for your donation. You're amazing. Thank you. Aw. Yeah, totally. I for sure just lit that bowl. Okay. So I'm doing my last piece. It was really dumb. I should have done them together. Next one I will do all of them together. But this is going to get a little bit of air bubbles on it, and I just so know it. Before I start the next side, I'm going to have to do the door opening squeaky. Okay. Here we go. Heating that up so both sides are heated. And I'm just going to put that face down. Paint scraper. Push it over top. Other side of Worbla. Push that on the top. Whoops. Get all of the air bubbles out. You're excited to start making another breastplate. Your first Jirachi breastplate didn't turn out, but to be fair, they're your first breastplates. But your Diablo Wizard is time. Oh, you're doing a Diablo Wizard. Oh my god. I cannot wait to see it. I love the wizard design so much. I am going to have to creep your progress on DP. I love Diablo. That's why I decided to make this Crusader helmet. Okay, so once again, I am doing all of my using my protractor on my curved elements to get the tightest possible fit. Going over here, doing the other side. This is the last piece to the one side. Some people, like I said, they'll do 4 pieces on each side, but I personally like to just do 3. You started, oh, Crimson, you started making a Zero cosplay? That's awesome. Yes, I'm so happy to talk to all the happy cosplayers in here. Hooray. Akriel, oh, you're so happy I'm teaching how to make this helmet. You're going to start making your first armor soon, and you need tutorials. So that's what my entire channel is that, well, not every day. Sometimes they're just hangouts, but every Sunday is cosplay tutorial time. So I have done episodes where I have made resin. I've shown how to do your own resin gems, how to make them light up. We did pattern making. We did breastplates. We haven't done too many weapons yet, so that one's going to be up and coming. Same with painting and priming will be up and coming. 2-part molds. There's a lot to cover. We haven't done any sort of legs yet or anything, so I'll do those. I'll have to, like, I don't know, position the camera different because I can't really do, like, my little feeties sort of up on the table. Okay, so I have this done. I'm just going to cut this out really quick. Once again, I'm leaving a decent, like, I mean, I'm obviously cutting it as tight as possible so I get the tightest fitting thing, but I'm leaving just a slight little bit more room than I normally would because I really want to make sure that my pieces are going to be able to be smooshed together. Hey, Adris, how are you doing? Hello. Adris is here. As we were in armor crafting, did I ever try to make a Saint Seiya armor cosplay? No, I have not. But it's something that I've had a lot of people suggest to me and say that I should do that. And I think we kind of decided this last episode, coming up soon, once I get some, like, images, I'm going to figure out a bunch of things I want to make, and I'm actually going to post them on chat, and I would love it if you guys could vote and say which you would like to see me make next. And then I'll make it, and I'll do it for you guys, because that's why I do this stuff, is all for you. Okay, so this one's going right here on this piece to finish out this side of the helmet. Can you kind of see? But because I was stupid and didn't do them all together, I now have to heat this back up again, and I'm really worried I'm going to get bubbles. So here's hoping I'm not going to, because heating Worbla 3 times in a row is a little bit stressful. Okay. Sorry I'm a little quiet while doing this. I'm just really, really concentrating. So I want to make sure that this is going to work out. Ah, bubble! No! Did not want to heat this 3 times. Okay. Now, once again, I'm starting sort of at the base and starting the smoosh like that, just at the base, but I will have to, I'm still smooshing, but I will have to start picking it up soon and attaching it by curving it. Okay. So now I'm trying to smoosh at the top. And I'm gonna just lay it, I know it looks weird just to lay it flat here, but still hot enough that it will go back into its shape. I just wanna make sure that I am smooshing enough so that my seams are not going to rip apart on me later. Smooshies. Smoosh. Okay. So it's all starting to curve. And no, stupid bubbles. So mad I had to heat that many times. Aw, thanks so much for the follow. So as you can see, again, I'm using my ball. It's just to smooth things out, but still like not making them flat, still doing the rounded side thing. And then it's going to start curving like so. And I've just got to turn around for one more quick second so I can just do this on my own head in the mirror. Put my hair in the way. Oh, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm just shaping this on my own head at this point right here. And I just want to make sure that I am shaping this right. And that is going to fit my head. Oops, there we go. So there you go. You can see that we're starting to get, can you see this? I'm trying to turn to the side. Half of the helmet already shaped. Can you see that? So we're getting half of the helmet right here. So we got our helmet, it's shaping on us, and now we're gonna have to do the other side and the other half. Okay, so see, we got half of our helmet. I know it looks really weird as like half a helmet right now, but this is sort of the process that you kind of have to do. You get bubbles. So Chan Cosplay, you get bubbles in the very first round of heat. So what I would say, so you're using it on the low heat or on the high heat setting? Because if you're using it on the high heat setting and you're still getting bubbles in the first round, I would suggest going to a lower heat setting. If you are using the low heat setting, then I would suggest holding your heat gun a little bit further away from your piece and from your Worbla. It might take a little longer to heat up, but it's going to be worth it to not get the bubbles. So do you guys kind of see what's happening here? Do you see the shaping and building of the helmet? So it's definitely starting. Hey, Seraphon, how are you doing? CK Cosplay. What do I do to get the bubbles out? Okay, so I'll show you a technique that I do to get bubbles out. I need this one part right here to be a little rounder. Sucks because I gotta heat this up again. I didn't heat the full thing up, but I've gotta heat this one part up again because it's gotta be a little rounder. So to get the bubbles out, a trick that I like to do is to heat heat the part with the bubble, and then I take one of my dress pins, so you can see just regular dress pins there, and I poke the bubble while it's filled with the air and release the air like that, and then use my finger just to smooth it out. So I'm just reheating this again. It was this middle piece that I had to heat so many times because I just need this one element in here to be a little rounder. So a little bit of a tiny, tiny still flat edge, and I can see it, and it's driving me nuts, and I want this to be perfect. So, okay. So you are just going to be just a hair rounder, like that, using my ball. There we go. That's better. Just a slight bit, just in this one little inside right here. I just needed this one bit just to be just a tick rounder. So I just heated it up again. I'm rounding it up just a wee little bit more. All right, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I think that is looking pretty good for the base. Okay. So yeah, this inside element just had to be just a wee bit rounder. And that's where things like the styrofoam ball and stuff come really, really in handy. Just by rounding it up a bit. Let's see. Aw, thanks so much, Crimson Zero. That's awesome. Yes. Nice looking ball cap. I know, it's really weird, hey? Aw, thanks, Charlie Oldie. You think Worbla is pure sorcery? It has so many characteristics. It does. It's very bizarre, hey? You can do really quite a bit with this material, Adrius. Starting with Worbla, I think that Worbla is some sort of epoxy paint mix. It's actually, Kane, the properties of it are actually a non-toxic glue and wood chips. So there's a wood filler that's in it. Okay. So I'm just using my head right here for this final thing. I had to heat this one up a lot of times and got a little bit of bubbles here, which I'm kind of pissed about. But with the Crusader, it's all going to be covered over anyway. This is just sort of the base. So yeah, but can you see? So this is one side of the helmet. Do you kind of see what I mean? So now it's starting to build. We're starting to get the helmet coming together. And this is, so cross section of the helmet and the other side of the helmet. So this is why it's really nice to have a, this is why it's really nice to have a wig head, because it's very helpful just to sort of see your work and to be able to look at it on somebody else's head and not just do mirror stuff. So I'm just finishing up the last few little shapes right here. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with this one half of this base. So it's getting going, getting our base done. So now I'm gonna have to work on the other side, and then they will join in together. So you got one little half of this helmet starting up. And of course, there will be all sorts of crazy decorations on it and everything. I made some patterns already for the front of the Crusader, but I'm a little bit worried because I did them not, because I hadn't made my base yet. I didn't tape them off and make the patterns on my base. I did them by using math, and I always get a little cautious about when I use math and like patterning stuff like that, as opposed to actually being able to measure it on my own base mold. Okay, so got that one half there. It's looking pretty good. Got the one half of the helmet, so I'm just gonna put this over on the side here, and now I'm going to focus on making the other side, and then we're going to combine them together and make a helmet. So I'm just going to look Seraph, before your tablet dies, you must tell me that you love my face. Thank you, Seraph. I'm so glad you came to join and say hello. I'm just going to read chat really, really quick because I have been, when you're doing something, especially something on your own head and something that is sort of requires this much of like detail. Ow, I poked myself in the face. And everything, I really have been trying to focus and pay attention to my crafting. And I was missed a little bit of chat. So here I am. Yeah, it's essentially like sticky wood. That's sort of what it seems like. Yeah, it's just voodoo magic. Can I sit the styrofoam ball on a roll of tape so it doesn't roll back onto the heat gun? Yeah, totally. It's what I normally do, except I can't find any of my rolls of tape right now, so I'm going to put it on top of my Murloc mug. Nice little drink. Okay. So yes, any questions at this point right now? Aw, night, Seraph. Night, night, night. Kydex is also used for armor for the SC8 or theater sword fights. Ooh, I will have to check that out, Brad. I've never heard of that material, so I'm gonna have to totally check that out. Oh, you gotta go to sleep too, guys. That's okay. Night, night, CK cosplay. So the rest of making helmet stuff will be posted up later so you can totally catch it. So it's almost got our helmet base going on, so I'm now going to work on the other side. Okay, so I think I'm going to do my best to try to heat all of these up quickly and do it within all of them sort of together, like edge them and then try to heat them all up and then do it as one as opposed to doing one, and one. So we're going to start with this one, which is, yes. So that's, goes to there. Yeah, okay. So that's right. Okay. So we're getting, yeah. So now you can see I'm doing the other side of the helmet that's going on. Okay. So let's make this other side. Discreet, you're still waiting for PAX West tickets to go on. I know, me too. I really want to go. Something I would love to do. Yay! Makeup Macabre, more Worbla. Totally, we're making helmets and everything. Can't wait to see the end result. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm going to try to work on, like, the front parts and the rest of it and stuff too, like the front mask stuff, but like, and the horns. But I think that that will be a continuation Thursday because you need to sort of get all of your bases done first and then you are able to start adding your details. So that's right. Yeah, because that's like that. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to start doing this one. Let's Worbla this up. Just gonna go over chat. To try to give you a ticket what day you're hoping you're going the last day, which is say, oh, I want to go all the days. Because, like, if it was only one day, it would be Saturday would be the best. Because that's, like, the big costume day and everything. So, I know I've always wanted to go to PAX so bad so that I would, it's a lot easier to get there than other places because it's just down in Seattle. That down there and this one on. I'm going to work a little bit faster than I normally do because I want to make sure that I'm not heating these guys too much so that I'm going to get air bubbles. So once again, sandwich methoding, just pushing it all in like so. Using the protractor a lot for this one because there are so many rounded elements to this. You're gonna go to sleep. Okay, bye, Ethereal. Ashy, I'm so glad you were able to come in and to join. Oh, you've been to PAX twice, Stella. I'm super duper jealous. I've never been to PAX. It's one that I've really wanted to go to. Well, that and TwitchCon are like, I really want to try to make them this year. That's kind of like the goal is to try to be able to go to those two. And then, of course, BlizzCon. But BlizzCon is I already went hardcore and did all the tickets and did all the booking and stuff because BlizzCon is like really special to my heart. And it's sort of the last con that I get to go to a year. So, just down Seattle. Well, yeah, only 500 kilometers away in another country. I know, Brad, but I mean, it really is kind of just down in Seattle. When you're comparing like that to like, say, like KatsuCon, for example, which is all the way on the whole other side. Not only is it in another country, but it's like one of the farthest places that you kind of fly before leaving this place. So you can see this is going to be the other... Ooh, it's so hard to do this on camera. There you go. So you can see that this is the other side. And so now the other side is going to start being built and they'll get joined together and it'll all be a helmet. So I'm going to now build the other side. I'm going to do all of them and like this, and then I'm going to heat them all up once. That's my new plan. So I can try to alleviate their bubbles. All right. So that one's done. Then I'm going to do this one. So it's going to be it's gonna be this side down. Okay. So, yes, that's right. Yes? Sometimes I get confused with my which side downs. Yes, this side down. Okay. That's why I always try to mark them. Alright. Plenty of time to save up for PAX. It's basically in your backyard. Oh, Makeup Macabre. I am so jealous. Acriel, am I coming to any cons in Alberta soon? Or sometime. I really wish I was able to go to Calgary. I always want to go to Calgary, and then there's always, like, I was a guest at Northern FanCon, and so I couldn't go to Calgary because of Northern FanCon, so it was just kind of like, I don't know, I had to kind of pick, but I really want to go to Calgary. Aw, thanks so much for the follow. So, like, I would love to go to a Calgary con. Tell me a good Alberta con that I should go to. And I promise you, I'll go to it. Just for you. And we'll meet up, and we'll have coffee, and we'll do happy fun times. So, just tell me, and I promise I'll come to it. We've got lots of friends in the lineup of PAX. You have to bring games with you. Oh, that sounds super awesome. PAX Australia. Is there a PAX in Japan? I've heard of PAX Australia. So, yeah. I've heard that there's been another type of PAX. Let's see. Gumball and I are talking to some friends that are going to host a convention, and we always recommend you. Say, oh, thanks, Crimson. I totally appreciate that. Aw, that would be super fun. Where is it? I'm actually really curious. Canada? Like, is it in Canada? Yeah, I want to go back to Calgary, Ernie. I definitely do. But I just have not had the chance to yet. If I come to Australia, I can always stay with you. I may take you up on that someday, Modern. I really want to go to Australia, and I really want to go to a con in Australia. Super duper bad. Okay. So I'm just, once again, I'm sort of working faster now because I really want to sort of capitalize on not having to heat this up as many times. Okay. Heating up the edges is also not as bad as having to heat the whole thing again, so yeah. So, Texas. Ooh, that would be awesome. I've never been to Texas, but I want to go to Texas so bad. Japan is a 24-hour con. That's another place that I really... That's somewhere that I like have to go to in my life is Japan. Like it's, I don't know. There's just so much culture and so many amazing things to see. It's like one of those things that has to be done. If, you know, I could only choose to go one place in the world right now, I would go to Japan because it's just got so many crazy, crazy things. Oh, you haven't been to a lot of concerts since you moved from Quebec only a few ago. You went to Calgary this year. It was great. Apparently, Odafest. Yeah, Odafest. And Gladsy is actually a guest at Odafest. So, possibly I might go to Odafest. Possibly. But it's coming up a little... yeah, I won't be able to go. It's too... I've got another guest thing that I'm doing right at the beginning of July. So, I probably won't be able to make it there. Okay. So this is the back piece that I am just cutting out. And so once again, I'm still leaving little bits of spaces. So I've got both of my two pieces. This one's cooled down. Now I'm going to work on my big one. I chose to do the big one last because it being the biggest piece means that you're going to have to heat it this many times, right? Like X number of times to be able to do your shaping of your helmet. So with that, I want to make sure that I am heating it as little times as possible. So I'm opting to do this last. Plus also when you're heating up bigger spaces, it takes you a lot longer to heat it up, and therefore, again, you can incur just a few more air bubbles. Definitely going to the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. I want to go to that so bad. I'm so jealous of you, Lauren, for going to do that. And Kiri, you'd like to go to Japan too? Oh, I know. I want to go to the Olympics in Tokyo. Like, so bad. Oh, hi, Ling. Hi, Ling. How you doing? Good to see you, buds. Okay. Oh, bye, Berserker Works. You gotta take the doggo home and have some supper. Alrighty. Well, bye-bye. I'm so glad you came to join. 2019 Rugby Cup, too. See, I don't know much about rugby. I don't know much about rugby or soccer. Just not too much. No worries, Ling. Okay. So I'm going to put this right here. That's the other problem with wax paper is it ends up sticking. And put this on top. Rugby is fairly common in Canada, I thought, more so than the U.S. Yes, rugby is far more common here than it is in the U.S. At least that's what I think. It's just a personal thing that I just don't really know that much about. As far as, like, I don't know, Canadian sports are kind of, like, lacrosse is technically our national sport, but obviously something like hockey is, like, you know, more people are far more interested in that. That and baseball. Not that much basketball here. We used to have 2 teams, but now we only have 1. We used to have the Vancouver Grizzlies as well, but now we just have the Toronto Raptors for basketball. But even though rugby is popular, it's not one of those things that's like, you know, there's no rugby night in Canada. It's all hockey night in Canada, right? Okay, so once again, still using the protractor, doing the sandwich method. And I'm going to start, once I cut this, then I'm going to start shaping this other side. Okay. Alrighty. What cons are fun in BC? You want to go and visit visit this year and you haven't visited the province yet? The best cons, actually, if you were to go to a con in BC, go to Anime Revolution. I think it's in July or August. And that's probably one of the best ones. Fan Expo Vancouver isn't really that great. Anime Revolution, you'll meet a lot nicer like communities and stuff. They have all sorts of different communities that are there. Lots of really cool cosplay and everything. So I would definitely go to AR. Okay. So I'm just cutting my last bit, and then once again, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the other side and join them all together. Okay. There we go. So I've got all of my pieces right here. I'll move this, and I'm going to start by doing this one and this one at the front. So I'm going to heat these up. This one's already heated, which is great. So it does need some heat, but not the same amount that it needed before. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to heat this other one on the end as well. Even though I'm not going to be attaching it first, I want it to be heated, preheated just a little bit, so that when I do attach it, I'm not going to have it go down to being cold, like as cold again. So as you can see, I'm working really fast with this. Oh, it's hot. It's so hot in here. So hot. Oh, you found the dog in the emote list. Oh my god, he is way too precious, Adris. He is my favorite. I love that. I liked the pretzel I saw earlier. I want pickles. I want pickle emotes. Okay. Okay, so now here's the joining. This is always the toughest and most stressful part. But, ouch. Owie. Ooh, it hurts. It's really hot. Ooh. Okay. Ow. Okay. 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 Ow, 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 ow. Aww. Aww. Getting my ball. Aww. Aww. Precious pupper. That's right, Ernie. Okay. Now I'm just, once again, like I said, I'm just combining these and smooshing it to make sure that they are completely blended. Oh, thank you, KK Tan, for the follow. Thank you so much. I was set for the cosplay. Okay. So I got this one side attached right here, but now I'm not going to wait. And I'm going to heat this. So I'm doing it all in one this time, and I'm shaping it all in one, as opposed to the other side, which I did in multiple different parts. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so you can see just assembling right at the seam lines that I made. Now I'm like just flattening it out just ever so slight, just to like push in and smoosh these inside seams. So, right. So I'm just using the ball just to go over it on the inside. I'm just sort of like rounding it out in a way, just making sure that everything is perfectly smooshed together and attached. And now I need to just turn around for one quick second so I can try shaping it to my own hand. Okay, aw, night, Stella. Night, night. Oh, you're just like so close to seeing it all assembled. Okay, so let me just... Okay, starting to take the shape that I want. And I'm just going to check it on this other side right here. Yeah, so starting to take on the exact shape that I want. I'm just going to hold it on my head for a few more minutes. It's still pretty hot and cooling down. Sorry, I have to keep turning around and looking in the mirror. I just want to make sure that this is shaped onto my head and fitting correctly. Okay. Yeah, seems pretty good. Pretty satisfied with that. I'm just gonna take my wig head and just styrofoam ball, just push this out just a wee little bit more. Just give it a little bit more of a rounded. I heard from Joey about when the printer might arrive. No, not yet. But I sent it out on Tuesday, so I'm hoping to get the new one back sometime next week. I'm going to be calling them Monday morning because they aren't open on the weekend. So, well, their technical support is, but you remember technical support said we're not customer support, so that's that. What time is it over here? It is 2200 hours. Yeah, Brad's got it. He's got what time it is over here. Brad and I are in the same time. So you can see now I've got my second side. And then if I hold it up, I have my first side, and now my helmet base is starting to come together. So now I'm going to